Hello, good morning. Welcome back to another vlog. It is Monday, 8:30 a.m. and I am feeling good. I feel like today's gonna be a good day. I slept pretty well last night. I'm energized from my workout and just ready to go. So today is a work day for me, and I've really been enjoying lately going to the gym on the mornings of my work days, like the 2 days a week that I have childcare, waking up early. And I've gotten I've figured out the timing for this to be able to be sitting down at my desk at 9 to start the day. If I wake up at 6, feed Alice, pack up my gym bag, drive to the gym, do a workout, and then I get to do the steam room here and shower and get ready. And then I can be back at my desk at 9 and I feel like in a good headspace to start the work day. And I'm able to get up early to do this, but not too early. Because when I try to work out in the mornings on the days that I'm with the kids, I have to be back to tap Steven in for him to get ready to work at 7:30. And that would mean waking up at 5, maybe even earlier than that. And I feel like there's just a huge difference in my brain from when I look at the clock and there's a 5 and it's still dark outside versus the clock has a 6 and it's starting to get light. That feels more reasonable in my brain. But anyways, heading home, jumping into the work day. Let's do it. All right, it is now 11 a.m. Make a wish. I have been cranking through some admin work for the past couple hours. Got to a good pause point here. So now the next thing on my to-do list is to tell you about today's sponsor, which is MeUndies and their new Dream Seam collection that I'm currently wearing. It is so very hot in San Diego right now. We're at peak summer heat, and this new collection from MeUndies is ultra lightweight, so it keeps you nice and cool and comfortable. They're made from this buttery, stretchy fabric that just feels amazing on your body, and they're seamless and virtually invisible under any type of clothing. Even today wearing leggings, don't have to worry about panty lines. They're just super smooth and sleek. Today I'm wearing the Dream Seam high-waisted shorty, and then I got the matching bandeau bralette, both in the Cloud 9 print. It's so freaking cute. I love this print, and it even just looks so cute peeking out from my button up. Actually, I think I'm gonna undo another button because look how cute that is. Maybe even more of an off the shoulder thing because the print is so cute. It becomes part of the outfit. I want to show it off. This bandeau bralette is also a new style from MeUndies. It's their first ever strapless option, and it has removable straps for added versatility, so you can wear it with a ton of different outfits. And they have so many different cuts and fun prints to choose from. I also love MeUndies inclusivity. They have sizes extra small to 4XL. So get comfy in your MeUndies this summer with their new Dream Seam line. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/Sierra. Link below, MeUndies.com/Sierra. That's gonna get you 20% off. So thank you, MeUndies. Super excited about this sponsorship. But okay, back into my admin work. Got a little bit more prep work I need to do for some upcoming sponsorships. And then once I wrap that up, I think I'm gonna take my lunch, and then after lunch, I'm gonna edit a vlog. And then I have some prep work to do for a Schultzzie Collective video that we're filming on Wednesday. Oh, and then also, I almost forgot, I wanted to post on Instagram and ask for questions that you guys had about my experience getting an IUD, because I got one last week and I posted about it, and I don't know if I've ever received as many DMs about anything as I have from posting that Instagram story. I think it's just one of those things that's a little taboo, and also that I feel like so many of us have heard of, but it seems a little scary and intimidating. So I figured I would do a question box, and then in this vlog later today, we can do a little Q&A, and I'll tell you about my experience getting that. Because I would say, as nervous as I was going into it, so far, a weekend, have had a very positive experience. But we'll get into that later.
I see some yellow and rocks.
Ooh.
I think there was gonna be rainbow.
A rainbow geode?
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
So I came downstairs to feed Alice because she just woke up, and Grace and her nanny were hanging out in here with us too. And I had told Grace, hold on. You ready to switch sides? I told her that when I'm done with work today, we can crack open some geodes, which is to her the most exciting thing that has ever happened. And, you know, as a parent, I never want to push my interests onto my kids. But when my child lights up at the idea of cracking open a rock, I'm not gonna lie, I just feel full of joy. Grace has been really into rocks for a while, which I do feel like is, you know, a typical kid interest just for me. If you weren't around for like the rock hunting vlogs and the rock tumbling journey, for me, that never faded as an adult. But Grace has been really into rocks lately. And so yesterday she was picking up some little rocks while we were out on a walk. And then when we were driving home, she was looking at the rock and she goes, "Mom, what's inside a rock?" And I was like, "Oh, more rock." Rocks aren't hollow. They're, you know, full of more rock, except there's a special type of rock that is hollow, and it's called a geode. And when you break it open, you can see sometimes there's like crystals inside, and it's really cool. And she was like, "I want to see a geode." And I was like, "Actually, I used to love cracking open geodes, and you can get little kits for them." And I was telling her about it, and she got so excited. So I got a little geode kit from Target, and I told her that after work today, we could crack it open together. So she is so excited, and I let her like open up the kit now so that she could see the rocks, and comes with like, you know, a little magnifying glass and like little goggles. So her nanny said that's what they have been doing like all morning is, you know, there's like a little guide that comes with it where you can read about rocks and learn about geodes. And so they've been reading that and looking at the rocks with the magnifying glass. So Grace was very excited to have me join that conversation coming down here. And tonight we're gonna crack open some geodes. And they just went back out there to make a snack. So I get to just have a little quiet moment with Alice. Yes, I love you so much. All right, I am nearing the end of my workday. Got that vlog finished up, so I guess I can take these off now. And then I've just been working on some video planning for upcoming Schultzzie Collective videos. Last week we filmed for the collective, we did a Pop Flex review, and then my second workday this week on Wednesday we're filming again. So it was good to have this day sandwiched in between where I just got to crank through a bunch of desk work. Lots of filming going on for the Schultzzie channel right now, which I don't think I've talked about here, but I posted it on Instagram. We are moving to weekly uploads there for the next few months. We're gonna experiment with it and post 4 videos a month. So there'll be new videos on that channel every Friday, starting in September. So we are producing all of those videos this month. We're gonna experiment with that for the next few months. Also just kind of like experimenting with different styles of content, switching things up a little bit. We're gonna have more guests, more collaborations. So we're gonna try that out for the next few months, see how it goes. So there's gonna be more filming in the next couple months, which let me know if you guys like seeing behind the scenes vlogs, because the last couple shoots I haven't vlogged on those days. I started to see a lot of comments saying that like the behind the scenes vlogs felt really repetitive, because you're gonna see all of that in the Schultzzie video anyways. But let me know if you guys like the behind the scenes vlogs. I can film some of those on our upcoming shoots. Or if you like the more just like chill desk work kind of days, it's definitely easier to vlog on days like this. There's not as much going on, so it's easy to put, you know, to throw vlogging into the mix. But also then maybe it's a little more boring. So let me know which vlogs are your favorite. But yeah, excited for new content. Now I am gonna go through the question box I posted earlier and grab some of your questions about my IUD, and we'll do our little Q&A. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this, A, because I think it's interesting. Like, this kind of stuff is just fascinating to me. But B, I shared so much of my experience family planning in trying to get pregnant and our whole journey with that, and now being on the other side and having 2 kids, feeling like we're probably done, which we'll get to that. But now, you know, needing to approach family planning from the other side of trying to prevent pregnancy, I think it's interesting and I think it's full circle, and I'm happy to share about it. So that being said, last week I had my IUD insertion appointment. I went to my OBGYN, got a pap smear, and got an IUD all in the same appointment. And now I have birth control that I don't have to worry about for up to 7 years. So I've got some questions from you guys, and I'm just gonna go through these and talk about my experience, why I picked it, how I've been feeling after. I'm not a doctor, so this is just my disclaimer. To talk to your doctor, this is just my experience as a normal person getting an IUD for birth control and what my experience was like, some things that I learned from my doctor through this experience. So first question, what made you decide to get one? So Steven and I both feel like we're probably done. We just feel so content with where our family is. We love having 2 girls. It just feels like this feels so right to us. So we think we're probably done. But I leave that probably there because this is how I feel right now, but I don't feel confident enough that that is 100% how I'm gonna feel for like the next 10 years to the point that we would, want a more permanent option. Cause like during my pregnancy, when I was talking about birth control options with my OB for what I wanted to do after, she was like, yeah, you can get your tubes tied during your C-section if you want to while they're already in there. But I would wanna have like not a single doubt in my mind to make that decision. So we're leaving the door open, like even just kind of kicking that can down the road. So we have the possibility of changing our minds later. But that being said, wanted to have something that was more long-term. So long-term, but not permanent. And my doctor recommended an IUD. I looked into it a little bit and was a little terrified just because there are definitely some horror stories, but talking to my doctor, talking to friends who've had it and just looking more into things, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go for it. And it was definitely painful, but a couple minutes of pain and then like a day of mild discomfort for 7 years of birth control is a trade-off I'm happy to make. Okay, my camera died and all my other batteries are dead. So I had to switch to a new camera, but hopefully it looks okay. I had some questions on the length of the IUD. Like, are you gonna wait the full 8 years before trying for another kid? If you wanted to remove your IUD early, can you? That is one of the reasons that we picked this. So it lasts for 7 years, but you can remove it anytime before that and start trying to conceive. So, we can decide anytime in the 7 years, you know what? We changed our minds, let's have another baby, I can take it out and be good to go. And Steven and I figured when we were exploring all of these options that by 7 years, we will have either decided to do that, I will have had it removed, had another C-section, and then I would get my tubes tied during that C-section. Because I feel fully confident in that, if we had a third baby, that then we'd be done. But if we don't, and by the 7-year mark when I would be getting it removed, we will have fully made up our minds by then, and then it's Steven's turn and he would get a vasectomy. So that's another reason that we liked this. It just kind of gives us a chance to kick the can down the road. This will be my turn to do the birth control, and then after this, Steven. How did you end up choosing the IUD over other birth control methods? I love your channel. First of all, thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Second, I wanted to do something that was low maintenance. I had previously been on the pill and I just don't want to be taking something every day for the next decade or more, I guess. Like, I wanted something that I could trust and that it was effective, but then I wouldn't really have to think about much more. So I explained that to my doctor and she was like, you should get an IUD. Was it an option to do after birth or did you have to wait 6 weeks? I also saw someone ask why they couldn't just place it during my C-section. And honestly, great question. I asked the same thing because I was nervous about the pain, and we scheduled my IUD appointment when I was still pregnant. And I was like, couldn't they just like do it while I'm already all numbed up for the C-section? And my OB was like, yeah, they don't really like to do it at the same time. I can't remember exactly what she said. I think was something about the cervix needing to be more closed or something like that, but I wish I could have. That would definitely have been my preference. I don't know if there's like a specific amount of time that it's recommended you wait till after birth, but my doctor said I could do it anytime after 6 weeks to just give my body a little bit more time to recover and hormonally, adjust and get back into place. Do you have doubts about the effectiveness over time? Am I concerned about risk of it failing? Honestly, yeah, like the convenience of it and the great part about it is that you don't have to think about it and it's supposed to be very, very effective, but also I have already had that thought in my brain of like, but how do I really know what's in there? Like, how do I really know what's working? I'll probably, I imagine for the first couple months, maybe even the first couple years, I'll probably take pregnancy tests every now and then and just make sure that we're clear. But I do trust it and trust the science, and I know that it works, although, you know, things happen. They put that like 0.9 or 0.8 or whatever for a reason. But I feel like it's going to be mostly in my head, where then I'm going to have to be like, no, you're not pregnant. The IUD is working. Just go take a pregnancy test so you don't spiral about it. But I'm not going to lie. I've had the thought. Breastfeeding, supply change. I have not noticed a change in my supply since I got it. I did ask my OB about it because I am breastfeeding and don't want to do anything that could mess with the supply, and she said that it probably wouldn't have any effect. It's unlikely to cause a change. And my supply has been steady, so hopefully that continues. Have you noticed any physical symptoms? I want an IUD but heard crazy stories. I'm like you. I heard so many crazy stories, and here's the thing. I think it's one of those things where, like, you know, the horror stories are gonna be more likely to be shared. Someone's way more likely to talk about an experience they had that was terrible and an outlier than like normal and uneventful. So we hear the worst of it, and that doesn't make the bad experiences that people have had any less terrible. I feel for the people who have had a terrible IUD experience. That freaking sucks. But my experience was pretty uneventful. In terms of symptoms after, I had some pain, like some mild pain, pretty much the whole day of the insertion. Kind of felt like cramps, a little bit worse than cramps. It was kind of uncomfortable to sit. I was shifting around a lot. And I did have some bleeding and spotting for a couple days following the insertion, but the pain afterwards really wasn't too bad. It subsided after the first day, and I got back into my normal routine, and exercise has felt normal. The only other physical symptom I could think of is I did have a headache the day after. My doctor said to like watch out for, you know, migraine headaches, and to let her know if I get one after getting the IUD, because that is something that some people experience. It wasn't a migraine, it was just like a regular headache, and it went away after a few hours. So I don't know if it was the IUD or if I didn't drink enough water that day or it was something else, but hasn't happened again since. So someone asked if they offer local anesthesia. No, they didn't. I asked. I wish they did. It's kind of crazy that they don't offer anything for an IUD. It seems like they should. Even my OB was like, yeah, I wish I was allowed to give you something, but for whatever reason, that's just not how they do things. And it's a bummer. It did hurt. I took pain meds at home before I came. I do think that helped. Kept up with the ibuprofen through the rest of the day while I was still having cramps, and it was okay. Like, the nice thing is that the insertion is fairly quick. The pain goes, the like intense pain goes away pretty quickly. I've heard some people say that the pain is worse than childbirth, just to put it out there. That was not my experience, but it's definitely painful, and that pain can range, it's like into so many different experiences for people who get one. What sort of maintenance comes along with an IUD? So I have an appointment next month. My OB wanted to do a follow-up just to make sure that everything's good. And then this is the part that I didn't know until my appointment. My doctor told me this like minutes before the insertion, and I was like, what? You have to do a monthly string check. So there's a string hanging off the end of it, and you have to check and make sure it's still there and that it hasn't moved out of place. And then if you don't find the string, then you're supposed to go in and get checked. So didn't know that. That's something I'm gonna be doing now. So yeah, that is kind of everything of note about my experience getting an IUD for the first time. If you have one, or if you've had one in the past, let me know your experience in the comments. Good, bad, everything in between. If you wanna share your story in the comments, I'd love to read it. And now, shifting gears a little bit, I'm gonna go crack some geodes with my toddler. Okay, here I come. Are you excited? I'm so excited. I've been waiting all day for this. 1, 2. Oh, you see it splitting open? Count me in, ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Very cool.
Let me do the other one.
Okay, geode number 3.
1, 2, 3.
One more time.
1, 2, 3.
Crack! Whoa!
Let me see. No, it's real.
Oh, it's clear. That's cool. Oh, I really like that piece. You want to take a look at it with your magnifying glass? Crack! Whoa! So when you look at it up close like that, See all those beautiful crystals? 3, crack!
Mommy, it has a different color this time.
It is. This one's almost like black and white. 2, 3, crack! Geologist, go! Ooh.
This one's kind of different.
It is.
You remember this one reminds me of Elsa.
Elsa, some snow. So you know what I think is really cool about geodes? No one has ever seen inside of this rock before, right? We're the first people ever to crack it open. It's been sealed like this for millions of years. 2, 3, geologist power!
Geologist power!
Whoa. Might be, where'd that one go? Oh, this one. See how this one has like the little crystals poking out on the bottom?
My favorite is this one, which has this straight with snowballs all over the place.
It does look like snowballs all over the place. That's very...
And it also has ice.
Yeah, that's a great observation. All right, Steven's off work. We are driving to go on a little walk with some friends.
Yeah, good, much needed. Get out of the house. Be cool, right?
That's what I was gonna say. It's like
by the beach.
finally cooling down for the day, and we're gonna be coastal. So it's been a little miserable heat-wise the past couple days, but 6:30 p.m. and it's cooled down to like 75, so it's gonna be good. Good morning. It is the next day. We are getting ready to head out for a play date at Kenzie's house.
Well, Mommy,
Yes, sweet pea.
how about I be Mama Daffo?
Okay, you be Mother Gothel. Let me end this real quick, okay? And then I'll play. Anyways, forgot to end the vlog last night. So, doing that now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!